Hi guys, it's Mark with Texas Fundfinding and Texas Fund Finders, back as promised to dig into property tax surplus or overages in Texas, commonly referred to as excess proceeds, and the pros and cons to working them. Before I start, please leave a like and subscribe. We'll be cranking out more video with more valuable content that you'll want to learn and apply, especially if you're just starting out. Okay, let's start with the pros, or the reasons why you should be working tax excess proceeds in Texas. For starters, most, if not all, claims can be resolved and paid out in 8 to 12 weeks. Mortgage overages, on the other hand, can take 4 to 7 months to do a claim, depending on the case circumstances and who the substitute trustee is. Heck, my last 2 mortgage surplus claims each took a year to resolve. But most tax excess proceeds cases take 8 to 12 weeks or so to resolve here in Texas. Secondly, it's possible to get a list of older cases where it appears excess proceeds still sit with the county and work those older cases, although you should still call the county and confirm the funds first. Although you can get these lists, don't necessarily trust them entirely. With mortgage overages, there's no list you can get from a trustee with all the proceeds they're holding from past mortgage foreclosures. All you can get is a list of properties that recently sold at auction to investors that appear to have an overage. But these lists are sold, but from what I've seen on those lists, the overages on them haven't been confirmed or verified, and you may well find that many of the leads end up not resulting in an overage to recover after all. But getting back to the tax excess proceeds lists, these can be obtained and bought through each county's district clerk's department or office. Simply tell them you want a list of excess proceeds held in the court registry that were produced from the sales of the monthly property tax sales, or sheriff's or constable's sales as they're known as in some counties. Remember, you have to contact the county's district clerk's office, not the county clerk, for the list. Also, if you get a list and the county swears the list is current and updated, don't trust them. If you find a case on the list that you want to work on, again, call to make sure the funds are still there first and that there aren't any petitions current or motions filed at the moment or currently to claim those funds. The final pro to working tax excess proceeds in Texas is that, from what I've seen, there's a little less competition compared to people chasing after mortgage foreclosure overages and surpluses. That's possibly due to the fact that people are all hung up on the state statutes that, depending on who you ask and how you interpret things, we are limited to charging 10% or $1,000, whichever is less. This, by the way, is the main con, or the reason not to work excess proceeds in the Lone Star State, but there is a loophole, if you will, or a go-around. So there's really not enough of a reason not to try and recover tax excess proceeds. There are, however, a couple more disadvantages to working property tax overages here. First, you definitely will want an attorney. Although I've personally recovered mortgage overages numerous times without my own legal representation, you will always need it and want it when recovering property tax overage funds in Texas. And lastly, understand that you're more likely to see situations with property tax foreclosures where the owners are deceased, they had no will, and there are numerous heirs to deal with. These cases often take more time, effort, money, and patience, so be prepared to do some running around to get some of these funds recovered. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Again, the more subscribers I see jump on board, the more I'll want to share more wisdom when it comes to mortgage and tax surplus recovery in Texas. So in summary, don't sleep on recovering excess proceeds from Texas property tax sales. Don't be scared away by what you hear. Now, one thing I would not do, though, especially starting out, is trying to do both mortgage overages and property tax excess proceeds. Choose one and get the system down. Get a few deals under your belt before you consider jumping to the other type of surplus funds. That's our video for today. Again, please like and subscribe if you learned anything, and thanks for watching.